from the heart. A very good friend of mine died last week, and you know who he is. It was Mr. Terry Pratchett. And he's been my friend for 25 years. When I started out writing, he was a great help to me. He publicised my books to people. He gave me a load of advice that I should have taken. We would have wonderful nights out, getting drunk, arguing about everything and nothing. He was a marvellous, marvellous man. A marvellous man as a friend, an incredible writer, you know, and I'm sure there's very few people in this room who weren't touched by his magic. It was an honour to know that man, and I don't know, I'm sure like the rest of you, he couldn't really believe that he was going to go. It just seemed ridiculous to take that talent out of the world. It just seemed too much to even think about. A few years ago here, I was to give him the Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was too ill to stay and pick up his award. And that day was the last day I ever saw him, and I chatted with him, and as I chatted with him, I knew he didn't know me anymore. And it was a heartbreaking thing. I said something that night, and I'd like to say it again because it's more relevant now than it was then. It was something that my wife said about the meaning of life. That a person's life has meaning if by the end of their life they can say that they made the world a slightly better place to be in than a slightly worse place. And there is no doubt in any of our minds that Terry made the world a better place to be in. He brought so much happiness to people. I've been talking to people today and yesterday, and they were saying, you know, he helped me get through depression, he helped me get through my finals, all these things that he did. And to see that marvellous thing being taken out of the world, but we know that his life had so much meaning, and we know that 100 years from now, his books will be read by other people. He'll bring marvellous, magical stuff into their lives too. And one thing I used to argue with him about was God. Terry had no time for God.
Yeah.
However, in my romantic thing, I don't know how you can do that at your age. You're trying to be friends with God now.
I've seen a few things that he's allowed to happen, but
I'd like to think he's up there. I'd like to think he's up there arguing with Elvis. That would be just about right for me. So, listen, he's... Yeah. I'd say have a minute's silence, but he had no time for silence. He only had time for talking, he had time for laughter. That was what he did. So, can I just say, could we give him a round of applause?